Shalom and good afternoon. We're going to read from the book of Isaiah in this session, a portion of scripture which reveals not only the rapture, but it also reveals a pre-tribulation rapture. And most people have no idea that, in fact, most people don't, when they talk about the rapture, will mention that it's not revealed in the Old Testament. But there's not only this one particular verse we're going to read today, but there's more other verses that also really hint at a pre-tribulation rapture in the Tanakh or the Old Testament. So with that said, I'm going to read from Isaiah chapter 26, and this is Isaiah prophesying here, and he says that, starting at verse 19, he says that your dead shall live together with my dead body, shall they arise. Awake and sing, you who dwell in dust, for your dew is like the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. What does that sound like? The earth shall cast out the dead. That sounds like a resurrection, does it not? And then he says, come, my people, enter into your chambers, and shut the doors, or your doors, behind you. Hide yourself, as it were, for a little moment, or for a segment of time here, until the indignation is past, or the wrath is past. For behold, Yahuwah is coming out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth will also disclose her blood, and will no more cover her slain. Now, this definitely is speaking of the time which we've already talked about in a number of videos, about the time of Jacob's or Jacob's or Israel's trouble, or Daniel's 70th week, or what some refer to as the tribulation period. Notice that, and the reason that this is so important here is because, like I said, it really proves not only a rapture of the church, but it also proves a pre-tribulation rapture. Because if you notice the sequences of this, Isaiah prophesying says that your dead body shall live. Of course, when you understand that that is speaking about a resurrection. Now, the resurrection it's talking about has to be the resurrection at the rapture. Now, there's multiple resurrections throughout the scripture described, but this particular one takes place before the Yahuwah comes out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. And we know that that time frame is referred to as the tribulation, or Jacob's trouble. This is the what Jacob's trouble is all about, is to punish the inhabitants of the earth, to remove the sinners off of it, and to bring Yasharel, or Israel, to their recognition of who the Mashiach is, bring them to a point of them recognizing him and calling out to him and believing on him. And of course, we know that 2/3 of the nation of Yasharel will die during this time frame. So we're talking about a remnant shall be saved, and this remnant will believe on the Mashiach, and they'll call upon him whom they have pierced. But this particular verse is so good because it talks about, now this has to be talking about the times that we're living in, because this particular passage of scriptures have never been fulfilled. There has never been a time recorded where this particular event has happened. And so it's futuristic. We know that but it speaks, I believe it speaks highly of the rapture of the church, because even though it says, come my people, of course the real people of Yahuwah right now are those that have believed on the Messiah, on the Mashiach, and they have been promised to escape the wrath that is to come by the Messiah himself. For he said in Revelation chapter 3 verse 10 that he's made a promise to us that we would be kept out of this time frame. And so this, of course, here this verse here, these verses here in Isaiah describe that we are to come and hide ourselves for a while. Well, where do you think we're going to hide? We're not going to be here on the earth. We're going to go where Yahushua said in John chapter 14, he said, I go and prepare a place for you, And where I am, there you may be also. And we know that place is in the Father's house. And he said, I'll come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. So this is good news to know that we will not have to face this time that when Yahuwah will come out of his habitation to punish the earth for its iniquity. So may these words bring comfort to you and hope, knowing that the time is near. And you know, we can see that the time is near, because if all the signs that we're seeing today point of the tribulation on the horizon, the time of Jacob's trouble is on the horizon. If you're paying attention to what's happening in the events in our country and the other countries of the world today, then you would recognize that we're near the rapture of the church, because the rapture of the church has to proceed, as it states right here, this time when Yahuwah will come out of his habitation to punish the earth for its iniquity. May these words comfort you today, because that's what they're designed to do. As the Apostle Paul said, wherefore comfort one another with these words, when he was speaking about the rapture in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 18. Verse 18 says, wherefore comfort yourselves with these words. May these words bring comfort to you. Shalom.